Good afternoon, welcome to Vanik-Ias. Today we will discuss current affairs of 11th March. First topic is related to governance, that is bill processing system, right. What is this bill processing system? First of all, that gradually we are moving towards e-governance, right. What is e-governance? Utilization of computer technology, digital technology, thereby increasing the accountability. Accountability means accountability and transparency, right. Accountability to public. Suppose you have applied for a particular, for example, you are applied for a particular certificate, for example, resident certificate, you have applied it and you have applied by common service center, then there is a accountability at which, suppose for your application is at which stage, for example, or when it will be released, right. What are the issues? All these things, they are visible in the internet. In case of such certificates, you can see them also during the processing period as well. That is accountability. On this day we have received, on this day we will present you. Then transparency. Why it is transparency? For example, suppose earlier in the manual form means when you are depositing your documents to a government authority, there is no such you do not know, or the government, the higher authority do not know when the documents are submitted, on which date the documents are submitted, that the higher authority does not know. But now if that is in a digital format, if you are applying a form, it will be clearly mentioned that on this date these are the forms that are deposited. So there is a time limit for every services. Within 2 days or within 7 days a particular certificate will be disbursed, so that the particular person who has applied for a particular certificate, he will not need to come to the office. This will increase this will significantly reduce the corruption, right. In public offices, if there is a particular time limit for everything and there is faceless works, and the person or the applicant do not need to come to the office, then obviously there will be reduce of corruption. That is why everything we are transforming into digital platform or internet services and services via internet, and we are reducing the direct interaction between government officers and public. One such move is this e-bill processing. What is this e-bill processing? This is a big source of corruption, especially earlier. Earlier it was a big source of corruption. For example, in case of your road constructions, what generally happens? Many of us know it. This generally happens that if a particular contractor is making a road, then he will make a bill and he has to go and submit to the office. And for that, for the clearance of the papers, for clearance of the bill, money, right? For clearance of the bill, that means clearance means you are writing that yes, I have done this much of work of 1 lakh of rupees 1 lakh, government have to pay 1 lakh to me because I have done this much of work and this is certified by the engineer, right. Now it is the responsibility of the particular department to process your bill, and after some days they will release the amount. But what actually it was happening? They will ask for around 20 rupees. That is called as percentage, PC. 20 rupees, there will be around 15 to 20 rupees they will take as bribe for that, to release that fund. It is a common practices even today in many of the offices, right. And that is the biggest source of corruption. Unless that particular contractor pays that amount, then what happens? Authorities do not release, they says that this is the problem in the documents, this is wrong, this has not happened, there is quality issues. They will raise various issues. By various means they will not process the bill, right. So that is the biggest source of corruption, and government has taken steps, that is e-bill processing. E-bill processing system, that is finance minister. Who has launched it? Finance minister launched the e-bill processing system on the occasion of Civil Accounts Day. 1st March, they may ask Civil Accounts Day, it is in 1st March, remember. Okay. It was announced in the Union Budget of 2022 to use technology for the facilitating of financial inclusion drive in India. It will also develop financial inclusion drive, that means penetration of internet services in finance system, right, in governance system, right, and everything is need to be made digitized, that is financial inclusion drive. Okay. The Civil Accounts Day is observed every year to mark the anniversary of inception of Indian Civil Account Service. Indian Civil Account Service on 1st March since 1976. The ICAS performs key role in delivery of financial management services for the government of India. Financial management services. Any type of financial management services, because government usually do these things by the private sectors, some contractors or NGOs, and they have to publish, they have to report a bill that we have worked, the ground authority need to sign it, and the finance department, that is especially this Indian Civil Account Service, they will release the fund. এটা author explain करबी कि এটা author explain करबी ठीक अछि okay. So this is e-bill processing system, that is the digitalization in bill payments in public works. Okay, next. Then what are the key points? E-bill system is a part of ease of doing business. Ease of doing business and digital India ecosystem to bring broader transparency and expedite the process of payments. Expedite the process of payments. Usually, that's the, I have already explained that the delay is because of processing, and the officials, they want money or percentage, that's why there is delay. And here time limit will be established. Within this time, bill payment will be released automatically. So you do not need to pay any money to the officers as a percentage of the total amount of work. It is a part of ease of doing business. What is this ease of doing business? We have a ranking of around 64, I think. In 2014, it was around 142 or 141, which is a huge number. It's a ranking among the states. Ease of doing business means how a private player can establish his business and run in business in a particular country, right? This is a ranking among various governments and various countries, right? And private sector sees those rankings, and accordingly they go to invest. For example, so a particular country has a, in ease of doing business, they have a ranking that is too high, for example 150. Then in that case, a investor will not be interested, because it will be very difficult for him to run the business in that particular country. So the ease of doing business, this ranking need to be reduced as small as possible, right? So that will attract so many investments. How you can increase your ease of doing business? By increasing transparency, by increasing digitalization, right? By increasing digitalization and by increasing transparency. Or how will you, by by reducing the delay in clearances. For example, a particular person, a particular private industry, they want to establish a industry in your country, then how early you are giving the clearances, be it labor clearance, be it environmental clearance, be it land clearance, all these things, how government is cooperating and how government is taking minimal role in the establishment of the business, that is called as ease of doing business, right. Government should have minimal role. Minimal role means it should not interfere in the day-to-day business of a particular industry. It should work as a regulator, right. Okay, that is the basic principle of capitalism. Less and less interference of government. If you see the time before 1990, then there was a huge interference which we basically called as red tapeism, right. Red tapeism we usually called as, it's a big problem, bureaucratic red tapeism. There are many unnecessary laws in India that are especially created at that particular time, and still also there are various unnecessary laws and they are strictly implemented, and that prevents various investments, right. For example, China, suppose why so many investments go to China as compared to India? Because the ease of doing business ranking is less in China. We have a high ranking, right. Why they have less in the China? Because they are giving clearances too early. Our clearances we are too late. Even some industries take from years and years to get the clearances, right, because we don't have a land acquisition law. Up to till now we don't have a land acquisition law, right. We have for example, India is a democracy, so we have so many labor rights as well, right. So there need to be a balance. In one hand you have to focus on labor rights, rights of the laborers, rights of the farmers. On the other hand, there is capitalist interest. If you too much focus on the rights of the labor, that will lead to socialism or that will lead to communism, and that will prevent the investors to come into your country, right. So you have to make a balance, right. You have to, in the rights of the laborers or workers, and ease of doing business of the ranking for the investors, right. You have to reduces this documentation, you have to make it simplified so that will attract the foreign investors to invest in your country. In simple word, e-bill processing system is a way of transacting the bills digitally, right. Now you have to pay, you have to submit those bills digitally, and you will get the money rather than the traditional use of paper. Currently, suppliers of various goods and services to the government have to submit physical ink signed copies of their bills to the respective ministries, departments, offices of the government of India. Now at present they are submitting by papers, various papers, right. From one officer that will go to another officer, and each officer will sign, and most of the officers will take bribe for it to give the clearance, which will take the delay, right, which will make delay, or a particular officer is dissatisfied with you, then they will delay it too much, right. So that is the reason why contractors or the private players, they are they are too much requesting to those officials, right. They do not have their it's not that they have just submitted the bill and they will get the money. They have to request the officials too much to get all these things. Customers will be able to get their bills online via email or in the machine readable data from the when billed electronically. So they have to send it by email or the machine readable data, just by normal as we are sending any PDF or document form, they have to send it. Under the newly launched e-bill system, vendors or suppliers can upload their bills online. They have to upload their bills online rather than going to the office, along with supporting documents. What are the documents required, that will be mentioned, and you have to give them from the convenience of their homes, offices, or any time through digital signature. They will sign digitally and they will upload all the bills. Then at the back end too, the electronic bill received will be processed by the authorities digitally at every stage Yes, see, the electronic bill received will be processed or by authority digitally. That means in every office. That will show, okay, first clearance is done, second clearance is done, third clearance is done. It will reach the final. So that will be processed by authority digitally. At every stage, finally, the payments will be credited digitally to the bank account of the vendor. Directly, it will go to the bank account. At present, it is also going to bank account, but the official works are done by physical format, physical form. The contractor has to go to the office to make the bill clear, right? But here they don't have to go to the office. They will just submit the bill in digital form and automatically it will process, and they can see at what level my bill is there and on which date it will be released, right? There is another very good important provision here. That's very important. Right. Yes, there is yes, this point especially I want to say. Reduce the discussion and processing of the bills through fast in and fast out. Fast in and fast out procedure. That means there are various contractors who are applying for these bills, and it is mandatory that the person who has applied fast should be cleared fast. The person who has applied second, he will be cleared at second. So that will not increase the delay. And one more thing is that it will reduce the discretion of the processing. There should not be discretion for the officers whether he will process the bill or not. Once that is cleared, then that is mandatory that for the officer to clear it, right? So reducing discretion of officers will increase the efficiency, right? Next, it will provide convenience to all vendors, right? They don't have to go to the office, suppliers or government to submit their bills, claims anytime, anywhere by digital platform. Eliminate physical interface between suppliers and government officials. If there will be physical interaction, definitely there will be corruption, right? They will say that there is various problems in your bill and it is not going to clear. Obviously, you will say, sir, please do it. I am ready to pay whatever it takes. Next, enhance efficiency in the processing of the bills and claims. Obviously, efficiency will have, why? Because there is fast in and fast out procedure. That means if I have applied, it is mandatory for the officers to process it and to release it as soon as possible. They do not have the discretion to hold it. Who has developed it? It is developed by Public Financial Management System, PFMS. Public Financial Management System has developed it. Division in the Office of Controller General of Accounts, in the Department of Expenditure, Ministry of Finance. Right? This e-bill processing system has developed by Public Finance Management System, that is PFMS, and division of the Office of the Controller General of Accounts and Department of Expenditure, that is in Ministry of Finance. Right? Next. So main point is that it will increase the efficiency, it will reduce the discretion of the officers, right? It will enhance the processing bills and claims. It will function on fast in fast out procedure, that is, so very quickly the contractor will get their bill passed. Okay, next. What is the significance of e-bill processing system? Enhanced transparency. Obviously, this will enhance transparency. You can see at what level your bill is pending. Then it will enhance transparency, efficiency, and faceless, paperless payment system by allowing suppliers and contractors to submit their claim online, which will be trackable in real-time basis. Every time you can track at what level it is there. Next, trackable in real-time basis, that is the most important thing. In which office it is there, at what level your bill is pending. As per Finance Ministry, the suppliers and the contractors will not be able to submit their claim online, which will be trackable on the real-time basis. Next, will not be able to submit their claim. Yes, so it is right. It's not will not. They will be able to submit their claim online, which will be trackable on real-time basis. Then time efficient. As e-billing is time efficient, it will also be a quick and simplified way that will be better fitted to the government calling making India digital. The e-bill processing system will also reduce the errors. So, this is a move towards digital India, or it is a step towards digital India, making every services digitized, and by reducing the corruption that will increase the efficiency as well. Then what is PMFS? It is very important so as prelim is concerned. They may ask with respect to PMFS, it is earlier known as Central Plan Schemes Monitoring System. Central Plan Schemes Monitoring System, this was the earlier name of PMFS. PFMS, right, is a office based on online software application developed and implemented by the Office of Controller General of Accounts and Ministry of Finance, right. Sometimes they ask regarding a particular government body as well, a particular department as well, right. As like they have asked about DPM, right, regarding to this investment. They have also asked regarding to Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, GEAC, in previous years. So, they may ask regarding PFMS, which is a branch or which is earlier known as Central Plan Schemes Monitoring System, CPSMS, and which is a office under Controller General of Accounts, Ministry of Finance, that is related to Ministry of Expenditure. PFMS was initially started during 2009 as a central sector scheme, that is of the Planning Commission, with the objective of tracking funds released under the plan schemes of the Government of India and real time reporting of expenditure at all the levels of program implementation. So, this is very important government office, right, which what especially it does. At that time we had plan, we have a plan expenditure system, planning system, 12 plan, 12 5-year plan, and that was implemented and that was formulated by the Planning Commission. Before Niti Aayog we had Planning Commission, right. We know it, the difference between Planning Commission and Niti Aayog, the basic difference is that Planning Commission it is not decentralized, it is centralized system. That means center will give a plan and state have to do that. But in Niti Aayog it is the states that will propose a plan and center will approve it. This is the decentralized system in the Niti Aayog. So, earlier what was happening, this 5-year plan was recommended by the Planning Commission, and this PFMS, it is a central sector schemes, means this will be purely viewed by the central government, right, and they will report expenditure at every level of implementation, how much 5-year plan is getting implemented, in which sector, how much money is getting implemented. That report will be given by PFMS, right, that is a Controller General of Accounts. Then the primary objective of PFMS is facilitate sound public financial management system. This will facilitate a sound public financial management system, that is how much money is getting implemented for which scheme. The Government of India, by establishing an efficiently fund flow system as well as payment accounting network. Payment accounting network means how much payment has done from the exchequer and how much program is getting implemented, what is the success, all these things will be reported real timely by PFMS, right. Okay. So, so here most important thing is that it is what PFMS does, it basically reports the real time implementation of 5-year plans during the Planning Commission time, right. Now, what is it was Central Plan Schemes for Monitoring System, it is a branch of Controller General of Accounts under Ministry of Expenditure and Ministry of Finance, Department of Expenditure, Ministry of Finance. Okay. Then Startup Village Entrepreneurship Program. Startup Village Entrepreneurship Program, SBEP, Startup Village Entrepreneurship Program. Why we need startup villages? Why we need startups? Because we have to increase our manufacturing sector. Why you need to increase your manufacturing sector? We have a developed service sector whose contribution is around 55% of our GDP, but we have a manufacturing sector whose contribution is around 15%. Right, China is a manufacturing hub, it is producing huge number of goods and it is exporting them, but we are producing services and we are exporting them. Many of the Indian people are working outside India and providing various services like software or similar things. But so far as goods is concerned, India is not a manufacturing hub, and that is the biggest reason why there is a problem of unemployment. Unless we make our share of manufacturing sector up to 25% of GDP, we cannot expect to solve the problem of manufacturing sector. Solve the problem of unemployment, right? So to increase the employment, we have to increase the share of manufacturing sector of the GDP. And how that will be increased? That will be increased by various means, by technological development, by releasing, by bringing investment, by bringing FDI, by liberalizing your labor laws, by streamlining clearances, by attracting the foreign investors, and also one more thing is that by establishing startups or small scale industries, right? If you will write, suppose you are writing an essay regarding this employment or rural development, then you must mention Gandhi, right? You must know Gandhi. Gandhi was advocating for these small scale industries, self-dependence, self-sufficiency villages, that is establishment of small and medium scale industries. Why? Because even today that brings the most relevant thing, small and medium scale industries, this provides maximum employment, that is around 40 to 45% of employment. They also contribute a significant amount for our export. These small and medium scale industries, they especially they provides rural entrepreneurship. That's why our rural entrepreneurship will increase. That means rural economy will be strengthened. We can utilize our rural resources in an efficient manner if we develop the startup culture or entrepreneurship culture in rural India, right? How can we do that? For example, agricultural products, for example, dairy products, we can convert milk to dairy products and we can sell in a higher amount. Or food processing, especially food processing. Somebody is making papads, somebody is converting the tomatoes into tomato juice. So these are small scale industries. They are very labor intensive. They will give employment to the rural women as well. So it will significantly lead to the income of rural India. This will empower the women of rural India. This will export. Because medium and small scale industries, they give huge amount of revenue. They give huge amount of foreign exchanges as well to government, exchequer of government of India. So this is startup entrepreneurship for rural India, for village entrepreneurship program. That is the new scheme that is brought by government of India, right? Next, recently the National Institute of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development, NIESBUD, National Institute of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development, NIESBUD, has signaled a memorandum of understanding. See, you must remember these bodies. Last year they have asked a question regarding Mudra, which organization is maintaining this Mudra scheme. So they can ask, they can write a statement regarding this. This NIESBUD has signed a MOU with the Ministry of Rural Development, to develop sustainable model for promoting entrepreneurship at the grassroots by initiating startup village entrepreneurship program. It will simultaneously develop our self-sufficiency, or that will fulfill the objective of Make in India or Atmanirbhar Bharat, or it will reduce our dependency on foreign countries. We have to reduce our dependency on foreign countries. Suppose you are using a product that is made up of Chinese, then who is getting employment for that? It is Chinese companies, Chinese people, they are getting employed. It is Chinese businessmen, they are earning. But what about India? Indian people are just paying it to them. So we have to develop our self-dependency that will reduce our dependence on the other countries or the foreign countries. Okay, that is the basis of Atmanirbhar Bharat, because we have faced a huge supply regarding problems after the recent COVID pandemic. So we have to become self-Atmanirbhar or self-dependent. Yet we can say that this will promote this startup village entrepreneurship program. This will promote Atmanirbhar Bharat or Make in India. This will promote the Make in India. Okay, next. What is this? Let's see. What is the significance of this partnership? Rural entrepreneurs will be able to access banking system for receiving financial support for starting their entrepreneurship, including the support from Mudra Bank, right? They will get access to banking system. Rural credit is the most important thing. Rural credit means access to banking system, getting a small loans, getting a loan for 50,000, getting a loan for 1 lakh without any mortgage, because most of our people belongs to lower middle class, right? Or there are many poor people who want to make something, a small business, but they do not have the loan. Here Mudra loan do not need any type of mortgage, right? You can directly get a mudra loan, you can go and ask for a bank, you can directly go to a mudra loan, you can show their plan, you can show your land, and government will give you mudra loan. So that is banking system. That credit system was a big problem for India, and India has already given around 2 to 3 crores of mudra loan, right. So that banking system or credit system will be given by Mudra Bank. Next, first part of the program. Then integrated ICT, information technologies, techniques and tools also be provided for training and capacity, right. Further digital technology, you need to improve your business. For example, you are producing a good, then you must get linked with the Amazon or Flipkart. If that goods these are good quality that is good quality, then you must develop your link with the digital platform so that they can sell your product and you can get the benefit. So the required techniques they will provide. Another thing is that they will always provide training and capacity. Training and capacity means, suppose you want to make papad, but you do not have the technology, you don't know how to make it. Even if you are interested, you don't know how to make a sauce out of tomato, then who will provide you the training? It is the government that will provide you the training. Government will provide you the capacity. Capacity means the required things, how to do it, right. That is capacity development. It is basically especially promoted by Amartya Sen. He always says that you must develop capacity of people. Capacity has various parts. You can provide education, you can provide skilling, you can skill them, right. So a particular person is not educated, you can skill them how to weld, how to welding, for example, welding is a skill, or repairing laptops, that is a skill. So by any means you must give them training how to do it. Just you cannot say that go and open startups, then nobody will open because they don't have ideas. Who have this? Because nobody in rural India, most of the people are, if somebody is talented, then they can open their own startups, right. But large chunk of our people who are not getting employment, right, they don't have this so much skills. So we need government to provide the requisite skill to establish a entrepreneurship. So who will provide this kind of entrepreneurship? That will be provided by the officers under these schemes. That is capacity building. We call that is capacity building. Now you have the idea. Okay, this is how we have to make the goods, and they will link the traders also. You will can sell your digital platform. All the requisite things they will be provided. They will provide the information. Along with entrepreneur advisory, enterprise advisory in a particular sector, what are the challenges may arise? To augment the entrepreneur's ecosystem in India's villages, right? There will be enterprise advisory to augment the ecosystem in India's villages. Once it develops, they can do it. They can know, because nobody is doing it, right? We have to make India a entrepreneurship hub. We have to develop self-dependency. We have to develop village sufficiency. The beneficiaries of the project will be from self-help groups, ecosystem of the day NRLM. And the scheme not only supports the existing enterprises, but also new enterprise as well, right. Here the self-help groups will be included. That means self-help groups in every villages. We know self-help groups, a huge number of rural women, they are getting assimilated together. Suppose government gives them a loan, and initially they deposit a small amount in the bank. Collectively there will be a collective bank account. Then bank gives loan to them, a huge amount. And with that amount, government also gives them idea, and with that loan, suppose they will start mushroom cultivation, for example, they combinedly start mushroom cultivation, and everybody of them, they get the benefit. Self-help groups, it's a very good long question. You must study it, right? It has dramatically changed the rural economy. We can say it has developed various rural traders, right? It has led to women empowerment. In Odisha, we have an MP who is MP who has got the member of parliament certificate just because he has developed these SHGs, self-help groups, in various parts of our area. It's a significant development so far as women empowerment is concerned. Next, the partnership will enable rural community by helping them set up their trades. Rural community will set up their trades and provide complete support till they are stabilized. They will provide complete support. How to make it, how to cultivate mushroom, then how to trade it, how to store them, all the processing things, that information will be provided by the government. Also market the linkages. This pragmatic intervention will provide the knowledge, advisory and financial support. They will give you money, they will give you knowledge, you just do it. Public and will be create village level community cadre. Village level community cadre means there will be huge number of people who will get empowered. Once you know how to cultivate mushroom, right? Once you get the profit, then you will continue the business. So this is the program. Next. Then what are the key points related to SBP? Key points. SBP is a sub-scheme of the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana National Rural Livelihood Mission. Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, it is a sub-scheme of Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana National Rural Livelihood Mission, DNRLM. Ministry of Rural Development have been implemented since 2016. What will do? It will support the rural people to rural poor to come out of poverty. Then providing self-employment opportunities with financial assistance by Mudra scheme, Tarun Kishore, all these are Mudra scheme, right? Training in business management and soft skill. Soft skill means how to communicate, how to talk with the customers. This is soft skill, right? Then create local community cadres for the promotion of enterprises. Local community cadres, promotion of enterprises. See, there is a whatever you see in your surrounding, you become automatically. If you see that many people in your surrounding, they are businessmen, they are starting a startup, they have idea, they are doing a particular thing, then you will also do the same thing. In otherwise, there is a term called as chain migration. Chain migration means if a particular person from your village go and work in, for example, in color sector, or he is going and working in mines, then many people will also go and work in mines. It's a common phenomenon. We see our surrounding, and accordingly, as we develop our working sector, accordingly our surrounding. If anybody is working, so many people are working in our surrounding. We choose one of them whom to follow in general, in the rural people, and accordingly they do. So we see in some particular village, if you will observe, you will see so many people are carpenters, or in another particular so many people who are doing coloring work, or so many people who are doing fast food. So all have different expertises that develop by surrounding, and that is now we have to develop that surrounding by promotion of enterprises. So you have to create the environment of businessmen. If you are surrounding, if you say 10 entrepreneurs, then obviously you will become an entrepreneur because you know the idea, or you will get idea from those people. Fine. Next. Features. It addresses major pillars of rural startups, namely finances, incubation and skill ecosystem. Finances, incubation and skill ecosystem. It promotes both individual groups entrepreneurs. Majority of manufacturing, both individual and group enterprises, majority in manufacturing, trading and service sectors. Majority of manufacturing, yes, it promotes both individual group enterprises, it promotes individual, it promotes group, and manufacturing, it promotes manufacturing, that will provide employment. Trading and service sector, it addresses the major pillars of rural startups. So finances, incubation, skill, ecosystem, all will be addressed here, right? We have a skill development mission, we have a skill India mission, and how that will be applied here. Then it invests in building the capacities of the entrepreneurs and run the business profitably based on the local demand and the ecosystem. Local demand, what is the demand of the particular area? Demand, you have to understand what is the demand of your in a particular area. For example, there is a mining area or there are industries. You can buy trucks and you will transport various goods. But if there is no such industry and you are buying a truck, what will happen? You will be in loss. So you have to understand what is the demand of a particular area. Next, investment are also made on the use of information and communication technology. Information and communication technology. Because now the age is going to digital economy and it is digitized and e-commerce is proliferating in a speedily manner. Then we have to link them to e-commerce. that is the application of ICT or information and communication technology, to create standard e-learning modules for minimizing the transmission loss in technical aspects like a business plan or profit or loss account preparations. Accounting is also very important so far as business is concerned. How much you should make the price, how much investment is there, accordingly you will plan. So this accounting or business plan is very important so far as business is concerned. Investments are also made on the use of information and communication technology, to create standard e-learning modules for the minimizing transmission loss and technical aspect like a business plan and profit and loss account preparation. So e-learning, standard e-learning, they will develop e-learning, the skills, those people, those entrepreneurs or those who are aspiring entrepreneurs, they will learn by electronic method how to make the business a success. So these are the features of SBP. Next. Activities under SBP is strategically designed to promote rural enterprises with five key areas. What are the few key areas? One of the key areas is to develop pool of community resource persons. Some people who will develop entrepreneurship. First part, promotion, who are local and support entrepreneurs setting of rural employment. Those who will support the setting of rural enterprises. Another key area is to promote block resource center, BRC, block resource center, what in SBP blocks, to monitor and manage the community resource persons. Who will monitor them? That will the block resource center. They will monitor those people who are interested to create entrepreneurship. Next, apprise SBP loan applications. Okay, they will facilitate the loan applications and act as a repository of enterprise related information. In the concerned block, BRC plays the role to support sustainable revenue and model to operate efficiently and independently. So this BRC, they will have all the documents or the information regarding entrepreneurship. That means in which area, in which village, who is working, right? And what are the facilities that are already given to him? What is the stage? What are the challenges? Whether he is because many people take the loan of Mudra. Earlier what was happening? Mudra loan is there, right? But what was happening? People are taking Mudra loan but they were not implementing it efficiently. They were not able to make the marketing properly because they don't have ideas and they are not skilled. As they are not skilled, even if they are taking Mudra loan, that was being converted into NPA, non-performing asset. So the problem was that those people who are taking Mudra loan, they do not have the skills. They do not have the requisite skills. Now that will be provided by SBP. And especially that division is called as Block Resource Center, who will have all the information regarding entrepreneurship, and they will facilitate your loan. They will monitor your activities. Then SBP established local market rural heart. They established local markets rural heart, which motivated entrepreneurs to take up demand-based production. Advertise their enterprise and increase earning opportunities. They will take demand-based production. Demand-based production means, for example, now dairy sector demand is increasing, its price is also increasing. Huge number of people are consuming dairy products. So we can also create dairy products and the requisite technology, facilitating the loans. All these things will be done by BRC. A typical rural heart is mostly indigenous, a flexible and multi-layered structure which accommodates the economic activities of various nature. So in this typical rural heart that will be established, and in that area also you will have facilities to sell your product. Local market hard bazaar serves an important economic platform where a range of products is traded. Right? So in a particular area, for example, there are 5 panchayats, and in one panchayat you may develop mushroom cultivation. So now what happens? These all people of 5 panchayats, they will now enjoy mushrooms at low price than the market. Or in another platform, another panchayat you can develop milk production or dairy farming, that will also work. Similarly, in various firms, or somebody will develop these paper plates, somebody will develop for example your what, for example your cooking facilities, right, cooking facilities in your in various feasts or ceremonies, all these things, or designing a particular festival, all these things now they are getting developed. Somebody, there is a birthday and you will design, how to design them, you will get money. These are especially in urban areas. We can also promote them in rural areas as well, and local market or hat bazaar also, that will be linked. Next, a midterm review of SBP which was conducted the September 19 by the Quality Council of India shows that 82% of sampled entrepreneurs across the blocks reported being from SC, ST and OBC categories, which signifies social inclusion, one of the pillars of NRLM. Right, this is the most important factor, that 82% of the sampled entrepreneurs are from SC, ST and OBC. That will include social inclusion. So, those people who are the most vulnerable to the society, those people who are the most oppressed in the society, now they are getting the employment, they are getting the opportunity to become a owner of a particular company or an establishment or a particular entrepreneur or a firm. So, that is the best thing we can do for in abolishing rural poverty. Then 75% of entrepreneurs are owned and managed by women. 75% of entrepreneurs are owned and managed by women. So, that will lead to women empowerment. And average monthly revenue enterprises was 39,000 and 47,800 in case of manufacturing. Revenue in enterprises was 39,000 and 48,000 in case of manufacturing, and 41,000 in case of services, and 36,000 in case of trading, which is a very good number for abolishing rural poverty. The study also shows that about 57% of the total household income of entrepreneurship is through SBP enterprises. 50% of total household income, 57% of total household income are from entrepreneurs is through SBP enterprises. So, it is a big success. It's a very good working model, and it is getting implemented in a good manner, and it has shown good results, SBP program. So, okay, so this is finished. Next topic is related to science and technology. National Supercomputing Mission has deployed, that is Param Ganga. Param Ganga, what is this Param Ganga? It is supercomputer, right? It is from supercomputer, high performance computational facility at IIT Roorkee. Remember, Param Ganga is at IIT Roorkee, and there is another supercomputer that is called as Param Pravega. Param Pravega recently, that was in Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. So, Param Ganga, it is related to IIT Roorkee, Param Pravega is related to IISc Bengaluru. Then what is the key points? It is established by Computer Center for Development of Advanced Computing, CDAC, under the approach of NSM. Its basic idea, the basic idea behind building petascale supercomputer with manufactured in India components is to lead the path towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. We are developing supercomputer. What are supercomputers? Supercomputers are very big computers that are not like normal computers. It's very big, like the size of a room or a particular hall. They are made for specific purposes, right? Specific purposes means, for example, weather forecasting. Weather forecasting means what will be the weather after 1 hour, right? Or tomorrow. How will calculate? You have to calculate the data of 50 years or 40 years. Then you can say that what will happen tomorrow, what will be the weather. So, all this calculation they need supercomputer, or a banking system. For example, banking system, in month first of a particular month, the banking system calculates the transaction of all the customers, and they release and make it and send you a digital PDF regarding your account information. So, such a huge number of tasks are not done manually, they are done by automated system, right, and that are done by supercomputer especially. So, supercomputer are not normal computers, they are used for a specific purpose. It will serve as an essential computer environment, and This why it is has developed, it will develop this super Param Ganga, that will develop Atmanirbhar Bharat. India will be self-dependent. It will serve as an essential computer environment for the modern day research along with their theoretical and experimental work. The focus is to provide computational power to user community of IIT Roorkee. It will help IIT Roorkee to work and neighboring academic institutions. So that is basically that will help the working of academic institutions of IIT Roorkee. Okay, Param Ganga, that is related to IIT Roorkee. Now, what is a supercomputer? Supercomputer is a computer that performs currently at highest operational rate for the computers. Now we have already discussed in another lecture regarding quantum computer. That is around million times powerful than supercomputer, we can say, right? But supercomputer is too much powerful than normal computer we are using. Generally, petaflop, it is a measure of supercomputer processing speed. Petaflop. That, remember this word petaflop. Sometimes they ask a particular word as well. Flops, floating point operations per second, are typically used for measure of performance of a computer processor. So petaflop is a high processing speed. Using floating point encoding, extremely long numbers can be handled relatively easily. Supercomputers are primarily designed to be used in enterprises and organizations that require massive computing. Organizations that require massive computing, for example, the LIC. It has to calculate the policies, the premiums of so many customers. They need a supercomputer. For example, weather forecasting, scientific research, intelligence gathering, analysis, data mining, etc. Right? Scientific intelligence gathering, data mining, analysis of data. How many people of India do not have a house? Right? Out of all the BPL people who do not have the house, who do not have a breadwinner in their family, all this data mining, right? Filtering the data, calculation of all this data, that is done by supercomputers. And how they can be used in research? In research they can calculate various things by computer simulation. If this will be added to this component is added to this component, in what ratio what will happen? By understanding the two components, the supercomputer can calculate. It can help in research that this will happen. So that is called as computer simulation. Globally, China has the maximum numbers of supercomputers and maintains the top position in the world, followed by US, Japan, France, Germany, Netherlands, Ireland and United Kingdom. China has a maximum number of supercomputers, right, and maintains top position in the world, followed by US, Japan, Germany, Netherlands and Ireland, United Kingdom. India is the first supercomputer was Param 800, Param 8000, it was first supercomputer. Param Sivai is the first supercomputer assembled indigenously in IIT BHU, followed by Param Shakti, Param Brahma, Param Yukti, Param Sanganak in IIT Kharagpur, Aijar, Pune. Right, all these institutions respectively. In 2020, Param Siddhi in high performance computing, artificial intelligence, supercomputer achieved global ranking of 62, top 62nd in the top 500 most powerful supercomputer system in the world. That is Param Siddhi, which is indigenous, made by India, which is very developed. Right. So these are the supercomputers. If they will ask, so what you have marked here, every supercomputer has a prefix of Param. So if there is anything like, if they are asking a particular supercomputer whose name is not starting with Param, we can say that they do not belong to India. This is how we can mark, right? Or if there is Param, then we will say that okay, it may be linked to India. What is supercomputing mission? In 2015, National Supercomputing Mission was launched to enhance the research capability and capabilities of country by connecting them to form a supercomputing grid. Supercomputing grid with National Knowledge Network as the backbone. The National Knowledge Network project was aimed to establish a strong and robust Indian network which will be capable of providing secure and enabled connectivity. So to provide secure and enabled connectivity, we have a National Supercomputing Mission, right? That is that will establish a supercomputing grid. That means so many supercomputers. The mission plans will deeply 24 facilities with cumulative computing power more than 64 petaflops. Till now, CDAC has deployed only 11 systems at IISc, IITs. Only 11 systems are there, and there will be 24 facilities. With a cumulative power computer more than 20 petaflops, it is the unit. It supports government vision of Digital India and Make in India initiatives. Digital India and Make in India will be facilitated by. This will increase the innovation as well. Innovation means it will see the more number of information, the better we can produce a particular good, right? So if you are writing, for example, regarding designing or regarding manufacturing or regarding the nature of a particular material, if more number of information are there, how to make a particular, suppose how to make a particular thing, so manufacturing good, so that will be most efficient, that will be most stronger, that will be durable. All these things can be done by supercomputer by analyzing various data. Okay. So mission is being jointly steered, National Supercomputing Mission. It was jointly steered by Department of Science and Technology, DST, and Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. It is implemented by Center for Development of Advanced Computing, Center for Development of Advanced Computing, Pune and the IISc Bangalore. Remember, many times they ask the ministry, right? So National Supercomputing Mission, it is jointly steered by your Ministry of, or monitored by Ministry of Science and Technology and Ministry of Electronics and Information, and that is implemented by CDAC and IISc, CDAC Pune and IISc Bangalore. The mission was planned in 3 phases. First phase is looking at the assembling supercomputers. Second phase is looking at manufacturing of certain components within the country. First, look at assemble supercomputers, then manufacturing of certain components. Third stage is where supercomputer is designed by India. Now we have reached the third stage, designed by India. An indigenously developed server platform called Rudra is being tried. Server platform called Rudra is being tried in the pilot system, which is interconnect with the internode communication called as Trinetra. This internode communication is called as Trinetra. The server is called as Rudra. These two, remember these two terminologies, they will be very helpful in the for prelims is concerned, having been developed in India. Okay. So prelims facts: solar jets. What are solar jets? Scientists of Indian Institute of Astrophysics have unraveled science behind the jets of plasma in the sun's chromosphere. Chromosphere is just below the photosphere or the outer layer of the sun. The sun's chromosphere is the atmosphere layer just above the sun's visible surface. Sorry, it's just above the sun's visible surface, that is chromosphere. And there is solar jets. This IIA is an autonomous institute in the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, Indian Institute of Astrophysics. Okay, so what are the solar jets? The solar plasma jets. Solar plasma means hot gases. Plasma means hot gases. Solar plasma jets or spicules are powerful plasma streams constantly ejecting from the sun's chromosphere and atmosphere layer above the sun visible surface. Solar jets. Remember the surface of sun and the surrounding has much more temperature, as compared to the surface of the sun. It is how it is possible, that nobody knows. Scientists has not discovered it. But the chromosphere area, the surrounding area of the sun, it is the most heated as compared to the photosphere. These jets are rise and fall back under the influence of sun's gravity. So they constantly eject the solar plasmas or the hot gases to the chromosphere. And there some jets are so energetic that they can propel solar corona and beyond. They propel solar corona. They eject out from the solar system. The amount of energy and the momentum that spicules carry is a fundamental interest in solar plasma and astrophysics, right? The amount of energy and astrophysics, that is the study of astrophysics, to understand the solar plasma, to understand the amount of energy. The 4 key ingredients of the favoring solar jets are plasma fluid in nature, gravity, strong quasi-periodic triggers, eject plasma, and most importantly, sun's powerful magnetic field giving a specific direction to the ejection. So various factors plays the role. The magnetic field, the gravity, they eject those hot rays or the hot plasma towards the surrounding. The process by which the plasma is supplied to the solar wind is called a solar atmosphere heated to million degrees Celsius still remains the puzzle in which so much plasma is getting created, that remains a puzzle. It is related to solar jets. So, scientists observed how paint placed over So, solar plasma can be imagined threatened by magnetic field lines such as long chains or polymer solution. They found that underlying physics of paint jets when excited from speaker is analogous to solar plasma jets. Okay, it's like it means ejecting in various directions. Okay, next we will see plasma are hot charged gas made up of positive ions, freely moving electrons that unique property to distinction from solids. That are not solids, that are not liquid, that are not gas, they are hot gases, right, charged gases of having high temperature. Electrons are ripped from the atmosphere nuclei and become a plasma in ionized state of the matter. Plasma is not the fourth state of matter, remember. Plasma is fourth state of matter, it is neither solid nor liquid nor gas. Okay. Then we see the objective questions. Consider the following statements. E-bill processing system we have discussed. Home Ministry is the launch. No, this is Finance Minister. This is the accounting department of Ministry of Finance. So this is not Home Minister. This is not Home Ministry. So first option is wrong. It is not Home Ministry. This is Finance Ministry. Then second is launched on the occasion of yes. Second is right. On the occasion of 46th Civil Accounts Day, that is 1st March. So second option is right. It is by Home Ministry. We have already discussed that in broadly. Next. Consider the following developments regarding startup village entrepreneurs SBP programs. National Institute of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development has been signed a memorandum with understanding with Ministry of Rural Development to develop sustainable level of promoting entrepreneurship. Yes, this is right. These are the two organizations. They have signed MOU. Then rural entrepreneurs will be able to access banking system. Yes, by Mudra Yojana, they will be part of banking system, receiving financial support from the Mudra Bank. Yes. So second option is also right. So both and 1 and 2 are right option. Then third, consider the following statements about supercomputer Param Ganga. Param Ganga. The supercomputer mission Param Ganga has developed a Param Ganga high performance computation facility in IIT Madras. No, it is IIT Roorkee. It's not either IIT Madras. It is Roorkee. Right. Param Pravega. It is by Indian Institute of Science. Yes, we have studied Param Pravega at the Indian Institute of Science. So 2 only option is the right option. Next. Which of the following is the Indian fast supercomputer? Param 8000 we have already discussed just before 3 minutes. Param 8000 fast supercomputer. Then Indian Institute of Astrophysics have unraveled the science behind the jet's plasma. It is a study of which of the following? Sun's chromosphere. That is, chromosphere is the just outer layer of photosphere. So here the lecture ends. Like this video, share this video and encourage us to continue this program. Thank you.